Recently, I have been having even more fun than usual getting dressed. I am so inspired at the moment by many things, just one of which is apparently looking like a haunted Victorian doll. Hi, I'm Caroline. Welcome back to my channel. There's so much with fashion right now that I've been absolutely loving. Not trends necessarily. I don't actually know if any of this stuff is trendy, but it's certain eras of clothing and textures and references I have that I just wanted to sit down and share with you, whether you also are loving these things and you see me, or maybe you're in a bit of a style rut and this could potentially, fingers crossed, help you get out of it. Honestly, I've watched a couple of the 2025 spring trend videos and nothing mentioned in them was particularly reaching out and grasping me, and so maybe if you also have that experience, this can be the video featuring things that do reach out and grasp you. The way that velvet robes have completely taken over my brain, as well as my Pinterest feed at the moment. I mean, vintage sleepwear in general, I clearly am a fan of, being that I'm wearing an antique chemise right now in this little vintage nightie. I want to focus specifically on velvet robes, however, because I feel like there's something about the transitioning into spring and bringing a texture like velvet that feels more so to me something associated with fall and winter, but having it in a robe form, which feels very kind of like airy and free-flowing and springtime. The marrying of those elements is most pleasing to me, especially when you throw in a fun color on top of that. A few months back, I, at the thrift, did get my hands on my own velvet robe in this gorgeous mustard color. I posted an Instagram photo in it not too long ago. I had styled it with my antique Edwardian pieces in this stark white, contrasting with that rich velvet. I really loved. I think I was also wearing some black leather. I was having a lot of fun with juxtaposing in that look. I know, we're shocked. I took an opportunity to juxtapose. Who would have thought? Just such a versatile piece. I've been loving styling mine, and I don't necessarily think you need more than one velvet robe. I do think you need one, however, right? Don't knock it until you try it, but I would love to try and find one like a chartreuse color. Whoo. Or even like a fuchsia, or like a cobalt. Okay, maybe I do need more than one. Maybe it actually is vital to my health and wellness that I get my hands on more than one. Now more than ever before, I have been completely consumed by the role that hair plays into my outfits, and something that is so simple, I know, but it's a braid. I'm looking in the mirror and I feel like my outfit is missing something, but I can't quite pinpoint it. I'll throw my hair into two little pigtail braids, or sometimes literally just like grab a random chunk of my hair and braid it. Boom. Problem solved. As strong as my love is for two little pigtail braids, I also have quite a strong aversion to bare elastic showing, and so this is when getting creative and finding ways to cover that up and also just add even more to an outfit is coming into the equation. I'm loving doing ribbon, but I don't love bows, which I've been vocal about on this channel. They're just not for me. I love how a ribbon looks just tied in a knot though, and having it hang down. I think it looks really cool, almost like this effortless, kind of undone, messy element. The different kinds of ribbon alone, you already have so many options. You can get crazy with some twine. I've been going real wild with literal leather straps, as well as they have suede. I've seen it at the craft store, and you can tie it around the bottom of your braid and create kind of like a band looking effect. It's so cool and easy to do. I also love, they have something called braid bands. I follow a couple different braid band sellers online that they handcraft them. I really want to get a pair because I think they're just beautiful. And once again, there's such a variety of different braid hairstyles you can choose from. My preference is just the two little simple braid pigtails. If you are, however, maybe wanting to elevate beyond the pigtails or just one little chunk of braid in your hair, the two front pieces, I did that recently with baby bangs. Oh, you want to talk about something that takes patience and strength. Okay, but I've been really obsessed with, and I've seen Chapel Rowan doing this recently, and I have actually done this and posted on my Instagram about it. It's two pigtail braids, but with a bun kind of updo situation happening on the top. You'll see in the inspo photos, but I have been loving this. It feels very medieval and Renaissance-esque to me, which is obviously why I am drawn to it. So fun, and I promise you it's a lot easier than it seems. I am by no means a hair, well, actually I am kind of good at hair. Let me give myself more credit than that, but it really, I've gotten some questions asking when I've done this hair for a tutorial. I'm telling you, I just grab random chunks of my hair, bobby pin them, try and hide the bobby pins with other pieces of my hair, and cross my fingers and hope it looks good. Well, now it only feels right to make the next topic Catherine the Great's costuming in the show The Great, because I brought up Renaissance and medieval, which I know technically she's not a part of either of those, but the show's a period piece, and I'm thinking about period pieces. Well, transparently, I'm always thinking about period pieces, just like looming in the back of my mind. Pushing aside the costume topic really quickly, however, to talk about the show itself, because listen, even if you don't like period pieces, this show, it's 3 seasons. It's not accurate at all, and they don't claim to be, and it is so fucking good and funny. My friends who do not like period pieces at all, because yes, they do exist, I know. I can't believe it myself either. They love this show, and I have gone some crazy places online, like limited series, BBC only subscription shows that I don't think most people have ever even seen or heard of, and I really liked them. You will like The Great, I promise. Bring it back in that costume topic now, because it is just one of the many things that I love about this show, and especially Catherine's costuming, played by Elle Fanning, who just so happens to be not only incredibly talented, but so incredibly beautiful, it actually like borderline pisses me off when I'm watching. The sheer amount of costumes and outfit changes that she has throughout this show are insane, but my favorite, and what I like so much because I feel like I'm able to translate them into my real life, is shockingly her more nighttime relaxed loungewear. It's honestly a lot of what I'm kind of wearing right now. The sweetest, most precious pastel color palette. It's so beautiful. All of the textures and the florals. She'll have these moments in just a corset with a pair of bloomers or a petty skirt, and her hair will be curled, half pinned up, the other half down. Really, this is all kind of just like a heads up and warning to you that if soon on my Instagram you start to see me in outfits that do appear as though I'm basically doing Catherine the Great from The Great cosplay, I'm gonna need you to mind your business. It is even down, well, the hair, she's blonde and I'm a redhead, so that's like the one thing separating us. Even her makeup looks though, it's so fresh and natural and beautiful, but that also could just be because Elle Fanning is so beautiful. It's about to get really scary though. My Depop likes are currently overwhelmed with vintage square dancing dresses, to the extent where I actually ordered one. It's en route at the time of filming this video. I'm hoping that it actually fits me when it gets here and I did not fuck up the measurements like I have definitely not ever done in the past when getting secondhand stuff online. Other than overalls, dresses are by far my favorite category of clothing, which actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it, because they're both these one article of clothing that you put on, and for the most part that's pretty much the outfit. It's just easy and convenient. Square dancing dresses were not a category of dresses that I'd yet to tap into though, and it's one that I've always admired from a distance. I think I'm just very specific about the ones that I like, and no shock, the ones that I like the most are vintage. Beyond the fun colors and patterns and frills that accompany these dresses, the sheer amount of volume that the silhouette allows is by far my favorite part. It just feels very flirty and saucy to me, and definitely the type of clothing that you put on, and when mine does fit me, I'm gonna want to start twirling around in it. And then I'm gonna want to go square dancing, which I guess is kind of the entire point, is to elicit that reaction. I haven't ever been square dancing. I don't think, actually wait, no, that's a lie. When I was in middle school, PE, there was a square dancing course, but I fractured my ankle. And so I didn't get to participate in that course. And so maybe, long con, this is me trying to heal that childhood wound and trauma of not being able to participate in square dancing in 8th grade. And so now, 27 years old, this is how I'm dealing with that. It can't simply just be because I like the dress. There has to be some grand, deep pathology behind it, and not like, yeah, I just want to wear it in the summer with like a cute pair of boots or my tabby flats, some jewelry, throw in the bag, and sunglasses. It's trauma. That's the point. All right, so this next thing is not a new obsession of mine. However, it is an obsession that I feel so deeply passionate about, and I don't think I've ever talked about it on here before, which is just a short, black, glossy nail. Might have peeped that it is currently what I have going on with my nails, and usually in my videos, it's what I have going on. I love, if it's not straight up black, it'll be a super, super dark navy or purple or burgundy. All year round, I love me some dark nails, but I really appreciate it the most in the spring and summertime, because I feel like in the fall fall and winter, most people associate dark nail polish with that time, and it's doing something like a black nail. In the springtime, when I'm wearing something like I currently have on, the pastel, the Edwardian whites, and you just have that really stark contrast, which we know I love, which is definitely, I feel like, even more enhanced by how pale my skin is. Sometimes I will get wild and go for a bright pop of red, or I do love like a muted kind of dusty blue or a matcha-y grass green, but for the most part, this is what I'm reaching for. And I just feel like it also goes the best with a lot of my outfits. Let me know if you're the same as me. Do you choose your outfits based on your nail polish, or your nail polish based around the outfits you want to wear? Or is that like an OCD thing, diagnosed OCD, not like I've self-diagnosed through a TikTok video? I'm curious. Nails are a very, well, like everything in life, personal journey, and I've definitely been on my own journey with them. I used to get really into going to the salon every couple of weeks and having like a fun, bold acrylic set. I would get all into the designs, but I had this kind of aha moment where I realized, wait, I like the way these look on other people, but I don't even necessarily think if I like them on me. I don't like paying for them. I don't like sitting and getting them done. I don't even like the way they feel. Why am I doing this? And so that's when I started experimenting with this short nail life. I'm also so clumsy and prone to breaking my nails, but all the more power to people who can really get into that. I've always been a jewelry girl. I definitely got that from my mom, but the way that my necklace stack especially has been so personal to me and my outfits, I'm telling you right now, it is about to be the spring and summer of this stack. There is a certain go-to formula for how I like to arrange my necklace stack, but it's of course something that is really fun to decide, okay, one day I only want to add 3 necklaces to this outfit, and the next day I want to add 6, or I want to switch out these pendants, or I want to add this ribbon around my neck with the necklace stack. Because of how much I love my necklace stack and just jewelry in general, which I'm sure you may be caught on to by not only this video but any of my videos that you've watched, I am so excited to talk about the sponsor of this video, who is MEJURI. When I tell you I have been a fan of MEJURI and actually wanted to work with them for literally years now, because I mean, I think that their jewelry is beautiful and it feels like the way they approach designing their stuff is very much my approach to jewelry, which is this mixing of the high end with the lower end, the modern, the new. A lot of their pieces do have these more classic styles to them, but they also have tons of designs that are very clearly influenced by vintage pieces as well. I mentioned earlier that one of my reasons for loving jewelry so much is because of my mom, that she really was that person where every time she walked into a room, you knew she was coming before you even saw her, because you could hear all of the jewelry she was wearing jingling together, and that is very much something that I inherited, and I feel like none of my outfits are complete without jewelry. It makes the biggest difference. Along with these rings, which as soon as I saw them, I envisioned stacking them together and just knew I had to have them, but I also saw that they have both gold and silver hoop earrings, and I have multiple piercings in my ears, and I love switching off between gold and silver and giving that same mixed metal effect. I couldn't stop there though. I of course had to give myself a little something for my necklace stack, actually 2 little somethings. I'd been wanting a thick, almost like herringbone chain to add to the top of my stack, so I was really excited when I found this one on MEJURI, because I've been looking for a while and this was exactly what I wanted and I hadn't been able to find on any other sites. I also got this pearl necklace. I'm really excited to start mixing this into my outfits moving into the summer especially. I love pulling out the pearls, and I had to get a couple little gold bracelets because I just love me my bracelets. It's high quality jewelry that's responsibly sourced and ultimately really just made to last a lifetime, which is not just how I like to view my jewelry, but just my wardrobe in general as a whole. You can get yourself some 14 karat gold, but they also have gold vermeil as well as sterling silver, and really just something for everyone. And so if you're interested in checking out MEJURI, you can scan the QR code up on the screen or click the link in the description box. Thank you so much to MEJURI for sponsoring this video. I really am so excited to be working with them, and also really excited for any of you if this is maybe how you start to build up your stack, maybe, or you have one that already exists and you want to get yourself something nice and add to it. My girl Mandela from the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, which is one of my favorite rom-coms, and she is by far my favorite dress character, and I don't think she gets nearly enough attention. I have made a TikTok actually over a year ago all about her, because I've been trying to push the Mandela agenda for a while now. Shocking if you've seen the movie or you're seeing now by the photos up on the screen, she is very heavily inspired by 70s fashion with a Renaissance medieval flair. The lace-up boots, the fun little braids in her hair, the chokers, the crochet, the Renaissance dress that she wears to prom. All of it is just so incredible, and I wish that we got more screen time from her, because every time that she did appear on screen, I'm taking screenshots and notes for future outfits that I want to recreate. I probably relate and almost feel protective of her as a character as well, because beyond her fashion choices, she is portrayed in this movie as sort of being a freak and a weirdo, and why is that girl always dressed like she's going to the Renaissance fair? And I'm looking at her like, that's the coolest girl in this entire school, all right? That's the girl who knows what's up and also knows herself and clearly has a very strong sense of herself that I think we should all be taking away as inspiration from this movie, as well as the incredible outfits. Patchwork any and everything, whether it's patchwork denim in the form of jeans or a jacket or a patchwork suede skirt or a patchwork leather bag. I want it all, and I want it all to be patchwork. As a fan of both 70s fashion as well as reworked clothing, it's not really shocking that I love patchwork so much, as it really is a mixing of both those elements in just the best way. So cute and so fun, whether you're buying patchwork that's already made or you're attempting to make it yourself, which, how was that? By the way, I've been wanting to tap into some DIY patchwork creations. It's on my increasingly long, ever-growing list of DIYs to attempt, but I do really, my searches have been going crazy for some sort of patchwork leather bag situation, because I feel like it's something that would just go with a lot of different outfits. Especially, I really like the patchwork. It's either brownie neutrals and a big mix of them, or it's a lot of color being used in the bag. Maybe I should get both. Also some sort of leather suede set, which is perfect for the summer, because who doesn't want to be wearing a leather patchwork mini skirt with a top in the summer? Summertime swamp ass. Embroidered cowboy boots. Emphasis on the embroidery of it all, which obviously I want a pair of these to wear with my square dancing dress so I can fully lean into the yeehaw cowgirl. Any sort of embroidery really I'm a sucker for, but especially when there's embroidery happening on leather, or the look of embroidery, but it's a lot of stitching and the contrast, and at least the boots that I have saved online, they really play around with color and different textures, and I love the look of a pair of cowboy boots with some flowers on it. Okay? I think because of how trendy Western has and still is. I mean, Coachella this year, I felt like everybody looked like they were going to Stagecoach more than Coachella, which, I mean, I don't really care, but it was very telling of where we are culturally right now. Also, complete side note, but actually kind of not irrelevant to this conversation. I have my problems with fast fashion, as we know, and most of them are actually not the aesthetics of fast fashion. I see fast fashion stuff that I think is cute all of the time, but there is something about Western fast fashion in the way, I think because a lot of Western style involves suede and leather and these materials that when it's done fast fashion, they use faux, they use vegan leather, no, they use plastic shit, and it looks so bad, like so bad. Like a pair of faux leather cowboy boots, the white ones that I feel like every woman who goes on a bachelorette trip to Nashville gets off of Amazon for like $49. That's what my fucking sleep paralysis demon looks like. It's those white faux leather cowgirl Amazon boots. I don't get how so much, especially good vintage Western, and I know accessibility is a problem for some people with fashion, but some of these people, I'm like, you're thin and I know you have money, so accessibility isn't the problem. Why are we not tapping into this? But also maybe I don't want them to tap in because it'll make, hopefully, my search for a pair of these boots easier. And I can just see myself throwing them on with just a little tank top and some mini teeny tiny denim shorts in the summer, heading out the door, or with a dress, mini or maxi. Also my overalls. Ugh. The opportunities are endless. I can envision it so clearly. Maybe that's me manifesting right now on camera in front of you. An antique bodice paired with jeans. Can we please talk about this? I mean, we are right now, at least I am, and how completely obsessed I am with this duo. You already know why I love this so much. It's that damn juxtaposition hitting yet again and taking something that feels really unwearable, especially, I mean, a lot of antique bodices are now seen as, I mean, these are markers of history that museums will have up in display cases, and being able to get my hands on one and wear it with my jeans and style it in a way that just feels a lot more everyday for the modern and wearable, I think is so cool. I'm sad to report that I don't actually have my own antique bodice yet, because talk about the museums, I'm in bidding wars with them on eBay because they're trying to get one of these too. I'm like, oh, okay, you want to challenge me to a duel right now? Because of their age as well, it is hard to come across them just in general, and when you do, trying to find one that's in decent condition and also isn't teeny tiny. I mean, I kind of, for convenience, but also I do like the look of having an antique bodice worn open, because most of them are in such a small size that I couldn't close them anyway because I don't have an 18-inch waist. And so having them almost as like this over layer jacket kind of look is what I'm into. I do really appreciate people who kind of like lean in to the bit of wearing items that are only from one era of fashion. It's a lot of commitment, whether it's taking something like an antique bodice and pairing it with only other late 18, early 1900s items, or another example is the people who do the full 70s decked out, which I always love, but for my style, that's just never what feels both authentic as well as realistic for me. And so being able to have the approach where I really have fun mixing, and I pair my antique bodice that I'll hopefully have soon with a white pointel little tank top and a pair of jeans or shorts and a boot and my jewelry and my sunglasses. It's just a lot more livable, but I'm still feeling like I get to have that item and that piece of history and appreciate it, and I also wear it, and it doesn't just, you know, sit and collect dust in my closet. I have been getting so inspired for more casual, kind of like vintage menswear looks from Role Model. This might genuinely be shocking to some of you. Yes, this is not a joke. I'm giving a man some flowers as far as his style goes. If you don't know who Role Model is, he is a singer, and I don't know if he recently came out with an album or dropped some more songs that are going viral, at least on the side of TikTok that I am on, and I keep seeing videos of him with these songs, and he's wearing these outfits that are so simple and really basic, but he executes them so well, and it's exactly the way that I want to execute my more kind of basic, casual outfits. It's nothing crazy, okay? I can't emphasize enough. He is not breaking any fashion barriers with these looks, but what I can appreciate about his outfits is, well, also, one, if you go to Silver Lake, you can literally find 20 men that look exactly like this, but I can tell that he is very intentional with the fit of his pieces. They are always so, and tailored to his body, okay? They fit him so well. To be fair, he's also like a pretty thin guy, so it's probably not hard for him to find stuff that fits really well, but they also are in certain colors, and I know they're vintage because they have this worn in, like faded look to them. Some men, you quite literally could not pay me to go into their wardrobe and try and pull something to wear. Okay, oh, this is the Terrifier 4. Welcome. But with Role Model, it's like, oh no, I could actually, let me in. Please, you got some stuff in there that I've seen and I'm like, I want that. That should be mine. Give it to me now. I'm gonna give him that little bit of credit where credit is due, and he'll throw on like these cute little caps and these cool sunglasses, a nice leather boot. As somebody who also has an affinity for leather boots, I can always appreciate when a guy reaches for a boot versus a sneaker, and I just think his style, I mean, it's pretty accessible and feels easy to replicate, and it's something that, I mean, I don't know if my TikTok or his label has been trying to get out these TikToks to find people who are fans of his music, but I guess they kind of got me, because through his style I started listening to his music and was like, damn, okay, all right. And he has a few saves on my Pinterest board, so consider me indoctrinated, I guess. Intentionally frizzy hair, in the sense of I'm going out of my way to amplify the already existing frizz that I have. Frizzy hair is of course not a trend or even a recent obsession of mine. This is a lifestyle that I've lived my entire life, but you know, being somebody growing up throughout the 2000s when having like sleek, straight, like sticking to your head, really shiny hair was the standard, and I felt like having frizz was this big stigma, and obviously it's stupid and it's something that's always existed. It's relatively tame right now, okay? I'm not trying to have a competition in the comments and make this like the frizzy hair Olympics. Feels good and very freeing to not only accept, but to go as far as to actually enhance and make it known that this is intentional and own that. And it is a lot more low maintenance for me as well, which is one of the few low maintenance things about me, especially as the months get hotter, because If you know, you know. And on that note, I am gonna wrap up this video right here. I really hope that you, like always, enjoyed this and found it helpful in some way. You're feeling inspired. You're gonna go on Pinterest after this and put in some work. If you want to, please feel free in the comments to let me know any of the stuff that's inspiring you fashion-wise right now. Maybe it's something that I need to add to my list. Stay sexy, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye!